Good evening, welcome to Moshiach Mystery series. So this evening we are going to be talking more about the second Kufa, the second era within Yemos HaMoshiach, within the general Messianic era. We're going to talk about the second stage. So in last class, we got into explaining the difference between these two stages. So just to recap in short, so we discussed how in the first stage, so the main purpose is going to be the fact that now we're going to be able to fulfill all of Torah and mitzvahs, all of Hashem's commandments. The second tkufa is going to be a much greater level. So in the first tkufa, the Rambam emphasizes that Olam Kiminhagi Noig, the world is just going to be the same. We're not going to break any of the laws of nature. It's only in the second era, the second tkufa, only then will there be nisim, will be miracles, and then we're going to experience a much greater level of connection with Hashem. So generally speaking, these are the two levels which Chassidus calls Bitul Hayesh and Bitul B'Metzias. So Bitul Hayesh means a yesh that is batul. It means we're going to be an independent entity from Hashem. We'll feel separate. However, we'll be batul to Him. We'll be subservient to Him. We'll fulfill His will. We'll recognize and we'll feel that we are Hashem's servants. That's the first kufa of Yemos HaMoshiach. The second kufa is a much higher level. It's a level of Bitul B'Metzias. Bitul B'Metzias means that we're going to feel that we're not independent from Hashem. So this is the concept that the Alter Rebbe explains in Tanya, the second part of Tanya, in Shar HaYichud v'Ha'emunah, that the truth is that from Hashem's perspective, now the world is also Bitul B'Metzias. He gives an analogy. He says the world is really just like Oyer HaShemesh B'Shemesh. We're like the light of the sun, the ray of the sun, the way it's enveloped in the ball of the sun itself. Which obviously the ray of the sun, the way it's in its source, is not independent at all.
Can't see it.
Can't even see it, right? Although it exists there, he explains that it exists. However, it's not independent. So when Mashiach will come, so in the second kufa, the second time period, will reach a much greater level of connection with Hashem. So what we want to discuss tonight, we want to get into more detail over here and explain this more accurately. So when we say that in the second kufa of Yemos HaMoshiach we'll reach a higher level, there will be miracles, in other words, will be a greater revelation of Elokus, of godliness, and we'll reach a level where the whole world is Bitul B'Metzias to Hashem, it's where it's felt in the whole world that it's not independent from Hashem. So there's still a difference between the Jewish people and the rest of creation. So a Jew's relationship with Hashem is much greater than everything else, than all other creations, all other created beings, the non-Jews, and the whole world in general. So what's the difference? So this is a very deep concept. It's a very deep idea. It's something that Chassidus talks about in a number of places, and the Rebbe in particular focuses a lot on this idea, the uniqueness of the Jewish soul. So let's look over here. You don't have it in front of you, but this is in L'Kutei Sichos Chelek Chav Gimel, and volume 23 of L'Kutei Sichos in Parshas Balak. So the Rebbe says the following thing. We'll read it inside. It says, Kol HaBriya, the entire creation, Kol Umeis HaOlam, including the nations of the world. He Metzias Shenishava Al Yedei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's an entity that was created by Hashem. Bara Elikim Me'ayin L'Yesh Basar Mamaris. It's something that Hashem created from nothing to something through the 10 utterances. Uvelashon HaRambam Kol HaNimtzoim Mishamayim V'Arutz Masha B'Neim Lo Nimtzu Ela Me'amitas Himatzai. As the Rambam says, in the words of Maimonides, all creations from heaven to earth and whatever is in between them, they only came into existence from the true existence which is Hashem. So that's the entire world. So the entire world was created by Hashem. It was not independent from Hashem, but it's a separate entity that was created by Hashem. Al Bnei Yisrael, Neshamas Yisrael, Nema Yisayr Mizu. Concerning the Jewish souls, the Jewish people, we say something much greater than that. The Zohar says as follows, explained in Tanya, Yisrael v'kutshabrichu kul echad. We say the Jewish people and Hashem are one. Valpizeh. So based on this, la'asid lava, kasher tizgala emes Hashem la'olam, gilei havaya echad ba'olam. So when in the time to come, when Moshiach comes, especially as we'll see in the second era, the second kufa, when the truth of Hashem will be revealed, and to reveal the oneness of Hashem in the world, ubishleimos, yurgish b'chal abriya kula, kela umeis ha'olam. It'll be felt in the entire world, including among the nations. Shalei nimsu ela me'amitas yimatzei. They will feel that their whole existence only comes from Hashem, that they're not independent from Hashem. The entire world will feel that without Hashem, nothing else can exist. They'll feel that they are not a true existence. That really their existence is entirely dependent on Hashem. It's just an expression of Hashem's power of creation. So that's when we're talking about the entire world, including non-Jews. However, to the Jewish people, it will be revealed something much greater. For the Jewish people, what will be revealed is that it's as if their mitzias, I'll translate just for our purposes here, as if their identity is the essence of Hashem. Yisroel v'kutshabricha kulachat. So the Rebbe is saying a very deep concept over here, but the general idea is that there's a difference between the entire creation and the Jewish people. So even though we study in Chassidus, and Chassidus expounds at great length how the entire world is batal b'mitzias. That's what Chassidus tells us the whole time. You have to know that the whole world is not really an independent entity. It's completely batal to Hashem. It's totally nullified to Hashem. Nullified to God. But what does that mean? That doesn't mean that the identity of the world is God. Chas v'shalom, right? God forbid. It means the world is something that Hashem created. It's creation. Creation means it's something that didn't exist that Hashem created. It's an independent thing. When we say that the world is batal b'mitzias, we mean that it's not independent. That's what we mean. We mean it's not separate from Hashem. It's just an expression of His koyach ha'hishavos, His creative power. Concerning the Jewish soul, the Alter Rebbe says, "V'nefesh hashenis b'Yisrael hi chelak elakam b'mal mamash." He says the Jewish soul isn't just batal b'mitzias. It's, so to say, it's like a part of Hashem. So what does that mean exactly? So what's going to happen in the second kufa? What's going to happen after Mashiach comes? Then that's what's going to be revealed. The truth of the truth and the essence of the Jewish soul. How it's one with Hashem. How the identity of a Jew is one with Hashem. So what does this mean exactly? So let's explain this concept a little bit. So we already discussed at length how the relationship between the Jewish people and Hashem at the very basic level is that of an eved, of a servant to his master. In other words, Hashem gave us the Torah. What does that mean exactly? So simply it means that Hashem is our master, and He made a bris, He made a covenant with us, and He told us, listen, you are now my servants, and now you have to do what I say, and you have to fulfill my commandments. So that is the basic level of connection or relationship that we have with Hashem. That's the surface connection. That's who we are, that's what we aspire to be, and that's what we're working on throughout our lives, to be Hashem's avadim, to be an Eved Hashem, to be Hashem's servant of Hashem. But Chassidus says that the connection between a Jew and Hashem goes deeper than that. So to take the analogy of an Am and a Melech, of a nation and a king. So this is not something that we relate to so well nowadays because we don't really have this relationship. We don't live in countries where there's a king. We have a president, at least here in the United States of America. And in many other countries there's also some type of democracy. But the relationship with the king is a very deep relationship. So this talks about how when the nation would coronate the king, by the Hachtorah, by the coronation of the king, how the type of bittul, the type of commitment, and the type of the way the nation would give themselves over to the king was something that was deeper than just, okay, this is my king, and I have to listen to him. The people felt that their lives were dependent on the king. They needed a king. So the same thing also applies in our relationship with Hashem. Why is it that a Jew feels that he's an Eved Hashem? That he is a servant of Hashem? Or, in a deeper sense, why is it that Hashem chose the Jewish people as his Avadim? It's because there's a deeper connection over here. And this is like, as we discussed in previous classes, that the essence of the Jewish soul is connected to Hashem. Yechida shebenefesh, right? There's the Yechida, the essence of the Jewish soul. And the essence of the Jewish soul, at that level, a Jew feels not only that he's an Eved Hashem, but more than that, he feels that, as in the terminology of Chassidus, as niter vil and niter ken sein ogerissen von Göttlichkeit, which means he doesn't want and he can't be separate from godliness. A Jew feels that this is who I am, that my identity is that I need to be connected with Hashem. So it's not something we feel every single day. It's not something that even many Jews are necessarily aware of. And if you'll tell them that, and if you'll mention it to them, sometimes a Jew might say, "I'm not sure that I really feel that way." However, Chassidus says that there will always come a point, or there could come a point, especially when a Jew is faced with a test of whether it means giving up his belief in Hashem or, God forbid, serving idolatries. So suddenly that deeper level, the Yechida shebenefesh, the essence of the soul, comes out, and he feels that I don't want to give up my belief in the one Hashem. So this is already a deeper level of our relationship with Hashem. But even this is not the deepest level. Because even at this level, we are still saying that there's me and there's Hashem. There's two separate things. It's just that I feel the essence of my core is that I feel that I want to and I can't be separate from Hashem. But it's not that my identity is Hashem. I'm a separate being. I'm a neshama. I'm a soul. But the soul desires to be one with Hashem. So the Rebbe explains that the truth is that our relationship with Hashem comes from an even deeper level. He says like this. This is from the Kutei Sichos Chelik Yutes, volume 19, Sukkos. Talks about coming up to Rosh Hashanah. Talks about why is the whole Rosh Hashanah davening filled with requests that we're asking Hashem to be our king. Why is it so important to us that Hashem should be our king? So the Rebbe says like this. The deepest level of connection that a Jew has with Hashem is as follows. Yisroel v'kutshabricha kulachad. That the Jewish people and Hashem are truly one. Bnei Yisroel him be'etzem echad kaviyachal makadosh baruch hu. The Jewish people are like one thing with Hashem. V'kesher zeh mizbati b'vakashosei shel hakadosh baruch hu v'ha'avodah shel tamlichuni aleichem. So how is this connection expressed? How do you see that there's this level how we're like one with Hashem? It's expressed by the fact that Hashem asks, and the Jewish people ask, Tamlichuni aleichem. Right? Hashem asks the Jewish people, make me your king. And the Jewish people ask Hashem, reign over the entire world. The fact that the Jewish people are arousing and they're affecting that Hashem should be their king. Before Hashem became king, so what are we lacking that we have to request that Hashem should be our king? The answer is, it's because in essence the Jewish people are one with Hashem. and therefore we're not able to live without a king. In other words, like this. Obviously, at this level where we're one with Hashem, so Hashem can't be our king, because the whole concept of the king is that he's a king over subjects, over a nation. Ein melech b'layam. You can't have a king without a nation, right? In other words, there's the king. He's one person. He's one identity. And then there's a separate entity, is the nation. So, but what the Rebbe is explaining over here is, so yes, there is this level where Hashem is our king. The question is, why is it that at this level now, when the neshama comes down into this world, and the neshama now becomes a separate entity, so to say, from Hashem, the neshama becomes a nivra, becomes a separate being, why is it now that the neshama feels that it needs a king, that it needs Hashem to be its king? Why does the soul feel it? Why do we feel that way? The answer is because in our source, we're really one. And therefore, even though the neshama comes down now into a body, and now the neshama is in a separate entity, but the neshama still feels that connection. It feels this natural pull towards Elokus, towards godliness, that it wants Hashem to be, wants to have a relationship, because the neshama feels that that's really who it really is.
Connect to the source.
Yeah, connect to the source, exactly. It says a similar thing regarding also Matan Torah. It says Matan Torah, Hashem chose the Jewish people. It says Hashem has free choice, right? He's the only one who has ultimate free choice. There's nothing pulling him. He doesn't have to follow any rules, and he's the only thing, so to say, the only one who really has free choice. So why did he choose the Jewish people? It says Lahachlufa ba'uma acheres ein yachol. Hashem says he can't switch the Jewish people for any other nation. So, why? He could choose anything. So why did he choose the Jewish people? Because the Jewish people, in their source, they're one with him. So it works both ways. The reason why we want Hashem to be our king is because we realize that in our source we're one.
No one else has any other choice.
And why is it that Hashem chooses us? Because in our source we're one. So in other words, what we see over here is that there's many different levels with our relationship with Hashem. So the fact that Hashem is our king, and he's our master, and we're his servants, that's only the surface level. A deeper level is the level of Yechida Shebenefesh. So to say, what we call it the essence of the soul. But the truth is that's not really the highest level. Because even at that level, it says, Chamisha Shemes Nikru Ula. It says the soul has 5 names. So Yechida is the highest name. We call it it's a level of the neshama that connects to Yachid, to the one being, the one God. But even that's not the neshama itself. It's not the essence of the neshama. The essence of the neshama, in its source, in its shoyresh, it's one with Hashem. Yisroel v'kutshabricha kulachad. But now we have to understand the following. So this high level, the third level, right? So you have there's the level where we're like Hashem's avadim, right? We're Hashem's servants. Then there's the yechid, the essence of the soul, where we feel that we can't be separate from Hashem, but still we're a separate entity. And then there's the essence of the soul, where we literally are one with Hashem. So we have to realize that these are many different. These are different levels over here. So the most basic level, that's the level that we experience and we are working on daily, right? That we feel that we're a separate entity from Hashem, but we try to be in touch with the fact that we are his servants and we have to do what he says, fulfill all of his commandments, and so on and so forth, right? So that's the relationship with Hashem that's revealed, that's manifest, that we experience daily. The higher level of Yechida Shebenefesh, the level of Yechida, that's not something that we experience on a daily basis, for the most part, for the average person. Now, as we mentioned before, there might come times that we do experience it. A person is faced with a test, and whether to give up his belief in Hashem or whether to serve idols, God forbid. So then the level of Yechida, level of Yechida of the Nefesh, of the soul, is revealed, comes out, and the Jew is willing to give up his life just in order not to lose that connection to Hashem. So in other words, this level of Yechidah Shebenefesh, it's not something we experience daily. However, it is a level that is revealed from time to time. It's there, and it comes out at certain occasions. When it's needed. Right. And it's our avodah to, so to say, to be in touch with that level and to be aware of it and try to reveal it. But the highest level, the level where Yisroel v'kudsha bricha kul echad, where we say that Hashem and the Jewish people are one, this is a level that's not at all revealed. It's not at all revealed. We don't experience it at all. We don't experience it. It's something we can experience. In other words, like this, just put it in simple words. If a Jew is going to say that about himself, if I'm going to say that I or you or any other Jew is God, right? That's nonsense, right? It's kfira, right? It's of course, right? Why is it kfira? Why is it nonsense? Why is it a denial of the truth of Hashem? Because right now I see myself and I see other people as a separate entity. So to say that me, in other words, the way I know myself as a separate entity, I am God, that's not true, right? It's stupidity, right? Because when we say that Yisroel v'kudsha bricha kul echad, that Hashem and the Jewish people are one, we don't mean that me as I know myself as a person, as a human being here in this world, am one with God. I mean, in the source of the soul, the real identity of the soul, it's not something separate from Hashem. Really, there's just Hashem. So this is something that we don't experience nowadays. We don't experience this level. It's not at all revealed. Yeah, we don't. So the level of Yechidah, it's something that we could experience. It's a high level. It's a deeper level of the neshama. But it's something that, from time to time, comes out. Because even at the level of Yechidah, the neshama is still a separate entity from Hashem. So even when it comes out, the neshama doesn't feel that it's one with Hashem. Literally, that its identity is Hashem. So this is what's going to happen in the second tkufa of Yemos Mashiach. The second era of Yemos Mashiach. So even in the first level, even in the first era of Yemos Mashiach, what's going to be revealed? So first of all, we're all going to experience that we're all Avdei Hashem, that we're Hashem's servants. And we're all going to fulfill all of Hashem's mitzvahs. That's the basic belief in Mashiach according to halacha. At a deeper level, as we discussed in previous classes, Mashiach is going to reveal the Yechidah Shebenefesh. That's the whole idea of Mashiach, like the Rebbe says in Kuntras and Yana Shal Teres Achsidus, to bring out the deeper level of the neshama, where the neshama feels that its whole identity is to connect with Hashem. But even this is not the highest level, not the true inyan of Mashiach. The true inyan of Mashiach is it's going to reveal how Yisroel v'kudsha bricha kul echad. So it's not Yechidah. It's not Yechidah. Yeah. So let's look in. If you look in, I don't know if you have it over here. It's in. I think the main place where the Rebbe talks about it is in the Sikh of Tolos from Tafshin and Beis. 1990, the end of 1991.
What's the parsha?
Parshas Tolos. It's page 130. So page 129 actually. I'm going to skip around a little bit. The second column, second paragraph. Yeah, the second column and the second paragraph of Mizeh Muvan. You see that? Shahamaylu ha'ikris de Geula ha'mitis v'ashlema mizbatas ba'achidish sheberega ha'mayla kivin she'az mizgal mitzios halavana v'dugmasi b'Yisroel. His galus etzem ha-metzias di Yisroel, etzem ha-nashama. So I'm not going to explain all the things he talks about, the Moilad and Rosh Chodesh. He says that the main Maila of the Geula HaMitis Vashleima is the fact that it's going to reveal the essence of the neshama. V'layod ela sheha etzem nimshach uba b'gilui mamish. The essence is going to be revealed. Hainu shegam b'dargas hagiluyim nirgash ha'etzem shalamayla megiluyim. This is going to be something which is we can't even understand what that means. That means that in the level which is usually of Giluyim, in other words, the levels of Hashem, which are, so to say, the external levels of godliness, the level where Hashem, so to say, gives place for there to be a world and other things. So at that level, we're going to reveal the essence. That we're going to see literally, it's going to be revealed, the true identity of the Jewish people. The essence of the neshama, which is one with Hashem, Yisroel v'kushabricha kulachat. It's going to be revealed how the Jewish people and Hashem are truly one. So this essence of the neshama is going to be drawn down. It's going to permeate and be felt and revealed in all of the 5 levels of the neshama, the 5 names of the neshama. Nefesh, ruach, neshama, chaya, yechida. What does that mean? It means b'chol koiches nefesh. It's going to be felt in all the soul powers. Tainug, v'ratzain, in the pleasure, in the will of the neshama, seichel midas, and its intellect, and its emotions, and in the garments which are known as thought, speech, and action. In the physical body, in all you 248 limbs and 365 blood vessels, it's going to be felt. It's going to be noticeable, it's going to be felt, and going to be revealed how the Jewish people and Hashem are one. Something that we can't relate to nowadays. This is a whole different level over here. That we're not going to relate to ourselves as separate beings from Hashem. And if you turn the page, and you look in page 130 on the second column on the top. So now the answer to your question, you asked, is this the level of Yechida? So the Rebbe says like this: in addition to what was spoken many times, that the true and ultimate complete Geula through Mashiach is going to come through this, that every single Jew is going to reveal the spark of the Mashiach, which is the level of Yechida. So the Rebbe says we can add and literally fix, in other words, to clarify, so to say, that really there's a deeper level. Hey nitzutz Mashiach shebechol echad ve'echad b'Yisrael v'hein v'alachas kama v'kama Mashiach hakloli ha'etzem d'Yisrael shalamad v'b'chinas ha'yechida. That the essence of what Mashiach is, it's higher than Yechida. So of course, this applies to Mashiach himself. That's who he really is. Mashiach is the one who's going to embody this and reveal it. Then to the Jewish people, he's going to reveal how the Jewish people and Hashem are truly one. So this, as it's apparent from other siches, this is something which it seems is only going to be revealed in the second tkufa, in the second era of Yemos HaMoshiach. So just to bring out another idea, it's something that's like mind-boggling. This is something that's like
so it's. You won't feel yourself.
You won't feel yourself. It's something that we can't. We don't experience it at all nowadays. We don't experience it.
One with each other,
yes, we'll feel one with each other. We'll feel one with God. There won't be. It'll.
Will there be people walking around?
That's what the Rebbe is saying. There'll be physical people walking around, but they won't identify as people. They'll clearly feel that they're just one with Hashem.
The whole
And that's what the Rebbe says elsewhere. This is what the Gemora says in Bava Basra. The Gemara Bava Basra in Ayin Hei Amid Beis 75b, that Amar Rabba Rabbi Yechanan Asidim Tzadikim Sheyikoru El Shmei Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It says that the Tzadikim, the righteous, are destined to be called by the name of Hashem. Now how could that be? We'll be called by the name of Hashem. We're going to call them. This seems like idolatry. Anything that is called by my name and for my glory, I created it, I formed it, I made it. So how could that be? The answer is because it's not chas v'shalom idolatry. Nowadays, to say such a thing would be idolatry. That's why it's only going to happen in the future. But what's going to be revealed in the future is how our identity is not something separate from Hashem. And the Gemara continues over there that Amr Reb Shmuel bar Nachmani, Amr Reb Yochanan. Reb Shmuel, the son of Nachmani, said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Shloisha Nikra Shmei Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There are three that are called by the name of Hashem. Eluhein, Tzadikim, uMoshiach v'Yerushalayim. So in other words, he says that there's three. There's the righteous, there's Moshiach, and then there's Yerushalayim. Because these are three things that, so to say, embody that their true identity is one with Hashem. And this is something that is only going to be revealed Tzadikim, Mashiach, and Yerushalayim. Jerusalem. Right? Yeah, exactly. So in other words, so to clarify, V'amich kulam tzadikim, yes. When we say the righteous, we're referring to all the Jewish people. In other words, it will be v'amich kulam tzadikim, it will be revealed how all the Jewish people are righteous, because the essence of the neshama is revealed, and at that level, every Jew is righteous. So in other words, just to sum up, so the second kufa, the second era of Yemos Mashiach, where we're eventually headed is that, so although we spoke in general how the whole world is going to be batal b'mitzias, nullified in its existence to Hashem, but the true, really embodiment of this is Mashiach and the Jewish people. Where we will feel not just that our whole existence is dependent on Hashem, but that our identity, so to say, is one with Hashem. And may we merit for this to happen very soon.
She'yavod